Hello everyone, Noctem0 here, and today I want to do my honest review of Luke Cage. Now I give you fair warning, there are spoilers ahead, because I feel like everyone's seen it at this point, and if anyone hasn't, don't watch this. But at the same time, I'm trying to tell you, this is a good show. So, I mean, if you can watch up to this point at least, I'm going to tell you right now, it's good. Go watch it, check it out. It's probably one of the best Netflix shows out there right now. Slow starting, but it builds up great, I promise. You've been warned. Okay, so to start things off, the show itself, I I think I must have watched a couple episodes twice just because I thought they were awesome. Um, but to be honest, I just love this show. Um, honestly, originally I didn't want Mike Coulter to be Luke Cage when I first watched this show, or at least when I first heard that he was Luke Cage. That is, saw him in Jessica Jones. I thought, okay, he did a good job. Still not my choice. I actually wanted that Old Spice guy when I first heard that when they were trying to cast Luke Cage, and I was thinking, oh god, he'd be perfect. But then after seeing Mike Coulter really portray the character a lot more, I'm like, okay, this is the guy I should have been, rooting for the whole time. I do like that the show takes place just a little bit after Jessica Jones because he's clearly hiding out, but during season 2 of Daredevil. Now, the show itself, I mean, it has a good premise. It's a bit of a blaxploitation kind of thing, but not like ridiculous like Black Dynamite or something like that. No, this show itself tries to have a message that is, and I think it gets everything clear across. It's not just simply of the whole Black Lives Matter thing or All Lives Matter. It's more or less just trying to establish something. I mean, not every hero has to wear a costume, and Luke Cage I think represents that rather well because he doesn't need to wear a costume. He doesn't need to hide. But I mean, I'm pretty sure he'll learn something like that. Who knows? They might bring in Spider-Man to team up with Luke Cage or something. I mean, I know they've teamed up before. I mean, I remember the first time I've heard of him was when I played Web of Shadows, and then I remembered, wait, Luke Cage and Power Man are the same guy. So the show itself has a great cast of characters. I like the character of Cottonmouth, but again, spoilers. I didn't like that he died within like 4 or 5 episodes in. I thought that was bullshit because I remember checking out his comic book character, and I'm like, okay, this guy deals with poison. Luke Cage can deflect bullets and knives and whatnot, but I mean, how can he deal with poison? They even referenced that because of his cousin Mariah, who's she's some kind of senator, not senator, she's lower level, councilwoman or something. Um, and yeah, she just completely references the whole use poison on him or something like that. Other characters I like were Shades. I thought Shades did a good job. He was a good, as Cottonmouth called him, mafia or mob consultant, gangster consultant, whatever. And it just brought a lot to the character, brought a lot more to the story. Because I don't know, I really like deep characters and Shades. I mean, I wouldn't want to say he's philosophical in any way, but he just knew his shit when it came to having to deal with Luke Cage, and Cottonmouth's pride just refused to let him do anything about it. Another character who's another Marvel superhero, which I did not expect to show up in this show at all, was Misty Knight. Now, I remember hearing about Misty Knight when I was watching Death Battle, Raiden versus Wolverine, and that's all I really heard of her at first. And I like that she has the metal arm and whatnot in the comics, and that her metal arm actually allows her to pretty much destroy any metal, including adamantium. So you know she's not a chick you want to fuck with. And the thing is that I noticed in the show they make references to her comic book counterpart. Now, at one point she gets a bullet wound in her arm, and I think 1 or 2 characters mention that she might end up having to lose the arm. It's a reference to how she's going to get a cybernetic arm. I guess it's not too dissimilar from the Winter Soldier, but still, I'm hoping she gets a much larger role later, because her playing as a cop, it was fine, but it did annoy me just a little bit. I think one of my favorite villains, though, was Willis Stryker, aka Diamondback. Now, he didn't have much of a presence in the earlier episodes. They only knew of his reputations as a weapons dealer. He dealt with the best weapons around, and if his name was ever mentioned, it scared the shit out of everybody, because he just was this crazy ass person. No one knew who Diamondback was, and he only showed up after Cottonmouth died. Another character, swinging back to Mariah Dillard. She is a councilwoman, but she's only referenced to her supervillain named Black Mariah from the comics. Although, in all honesty, there's not really much about her, other than that she was in Luke Cage's comics back then. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's more to her than what I'm looking up, but still. I did love that they brought back Rosario Dawson as Claire. It seems she's just jumping in on everything, but she had a much bigger role in Luke Cage than she did in Daredevil or in Jessica Jones. Because in Daredevil, she showed up as a potential love interest for Matt, but it didn't work out. Then she showed up again in Jessica Jones, and her role was only, I believe, in 1 or 2 episodes, where she had to help save Luke's life before his brain, like, I don't know, he had some kind of weird-ass aneurysm for taking a shotgun blast to the face. But her role was much larger in this. She was in, like, several episodes, I think a couple more than in Daredevil, and she just played a much bigger role. You got to see her mother, and she helped save Luke's life from the Judas bullet that Diamondback created. Now, to go back with Diamondback, a lot of his technology comes from Hammer Tech, which, if you guys remember Iron Man 2, Justin Hammer was one of the villains in Iron Man 2 that helped Whiplash get his suit and armors and stuff all made out. Now, what I thought was cool about that is that they're finally starting to bring in more characters and whatnot, or just references to the main MCU. If you look at, Cottonmouth called Luke Cage the Captain America of Harlem, and I liked that was even a reference to Captain America, because they never even mentioned his name at all. In Jessica Jones, he was known as just the flag waver to her, and or they mentioned Hulk, but as the big green dude. They don't really mention their names. So it's nice to see that. And then, of course, the Hammer Tech. Diamondback's suit, which is somewhat reminiscent to his comic book counterpart, but his comic book counterpart can only use knives, and he wore just a blue-yellow jumpsuit or whatever, and he died for a couple issues after encountering Luke. So he really didn't put up much of a fight. But in this one, he was good at using sniper rifles, handguns. Very violent guy, a rather very violent guy. He also, the suit that he wore, like I said, reminiscent. He used these power gauntlets, and I'm assuming the technology is based off what Whiplash made, because it's an Iron Man-esque type suit, but not all armored up. It's more like over-glorified Kevlar, because it absorbs bullets like no problem. And Luke tossed him around like nothing, and he still kept getting up. But at the end, Diamondback is still human. He's not like Luke Cage himself, who just can take any kind of hit except for the Judas bullets, and you'll see in the show. I know I'm leaving a lot of stuff out, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Just understand it. I'm not gonna spoil everything here, but I really think the show is good. It has so much potential to be even better. It has a good message behind it, and it's starting. Like, this is a good start to starting to expand the other parts of the MCU with the shows as well as the movies, because I like that they referenced Daredevil on more than one occasion in this show. Jessica Jones hardly did any kind of referencing at all to Daredevil, but Daredevil season 2 at least made a reference to Jessica Jones, because they mentioned her by name and had a couple characters show up as well. So the shows are expanding, and they're starting to acknowledge one another little by little. Like the producers are saying, they want to earn that. But honestly, we fans are hungry for more. We want to see more of these characters show up on each other's shows, make mentions. It just sucks that the movies won't have that kind of courage and do that, because the shows, to me, have more than well earned their place. But the movies just don't want to do that, and I've noticed the cast members are not enjoying that. But again, to go back to the show, all the characters really bring their A game. All the actors, and just it's a great show. The flashback sequence was awesome. I liked the throwback to Luke Cage's original look and the prison flashback. You'll know what I mean when you see it. There was a Stan Lee cameo. If you blinked, you missed it. And I liked one of my favorite cameos was seeing Method Man as himself, and I just chuckled at that because I liked Method Man and Redman back in the day, so it was good to see that. Um, but yeah, looking forward to Iron Fist, The Punisher, and The Defenders. I'm really hoping Misty Knight gets her own show because when you see her on the last episode of Luke Cage, she actually resembles more her comic book counterpart. Like the hair, the look, everything is screaming Misty Knight, and I just cannot wait to see what's going to happen next. Anyway, guys, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And yeah, I really hope you like this segment of Honest Reviews. And the only reason I call it Honest Reviews is because I am going to tell it like it is. I'm not going to be like a lot of the reviewers out there who sugarcoat or I don't know, I guess won't give too many chances to a movie or a show or whatever. They just bash it or something. I'm a fan of this kind of stuff, and I'm really hoping more people can check out Luke Cage, check out Jessica Jones, Daredevil, all of that, because it's all good stuff. The fact that they use practical effects over CG is what makes these shows much better in my eyes. It's the same thing with the DC shows as well. Anyway, you guys take care.